Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy Matt here, and we back with another episode of Matter of Fact MMA, where today we're going to be getting into the co-main event of UFC 288. Belal Muhammad steps in there against Gilbert Burns in a 5-round war. So we going to see what it's going to be this Saturday night. First off, let me just go ahead and say I'm out here riding with my boy GSP, the GOAT, and out here riding with my guy Lamar Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Just secured the contract. You know what I'm saying? We out here. All right. Anyway, let's go ahead and we'll get off into it. So, Belal Muhammad's going to step in there in a 5-round war against Gilbert Burns. This is going to be a very interesting fight, welterweight fight. A lot is actually at stake here, believe it or not, for the winner, I would say, of Leon Edwards and Colby Covington. So let's just kind of connect the dots here. So, more than likely, the way that it's looking, Leon Edwards is going to defend his welterweight title against Colby Covington. Now, with that being said, after that fight, there's not a lot of other people in line that could actually be fighting for the belt, except for one of these two gentlemen that are fighting on Saturday night, being Belal and also Gilbert. So let's just kind of get off into that a little bit more. Now, Leon has said that he still wants a fight against Jorge Masvidal. Jorge Masvidal has now somewhat walked back his comments a little bit about retiring. I kind of feel like he just wanted to go out with a bang in front of the home crowd, but he's kind of almost leaving the door open like he could come back for a fight. However, I really don't see the UFC being that flagrant and allowing Leon Edwards to step in there and defend the belt against Jorge Masvidal, regardless of if he wants that or not. So, the way you have to look at it is the winner of this fight this Saturday more than likely will be the next to eventually challenge for the welterweight championship. Now, Belal Muhammad has been making a lot of noise over the last few months. He wants his respect. He wants you to remember the name. And so, he's been talking a whole lot. I feel like each time he's won a fight, his last couple of wins, he's made a misstep in his call outs. It's kind of like he calls out the complete and total wrong person at that time. Then he comes back, he sees the media react to it, he sees the fans react to it. He realizes he makes a mistake. And within the next 48 to 72 hours after his big call out, post-fight, he makes the correct call out. And so because of that, he's usually always a step off on getting the correct matchup in his next fight. So, here, Belal was actually, he was kind of basically, he didn't really seem like he wanted to step in there against Gilbert at this particular time. He's talked about fighting him before and not having a problem with it. I'm not sure what was going on. He made jokes about he's fresh off the couch, kind of leading you to believe that, he might be out of shape. I really don't believe Belal Muhammad is actually going to be out of shape, though. I mean, the guy, he stays in the gym, he stays training, seems to be ready. He's done a lot with Coach Khabib, which Khabib is not necessarily coaching at all right now, but I'm sure a lot of the values and everything from Khabib's team have kind of fallen upon Belal by this point. So I don't think he was really literally going to be fresh off the couch and out of shape. Gilbert Burns is still in shape after just having that fight with Masvidal, so that he's still ready to go. Gilbert, however, I believe did bite for Belal kind of acting like he was out of shape, because Gilbert did push for this to be a 5-round fight, because he might be thinking that Belal is not in 5-round shape and he's not ready to go. All of this is going to be for a very interesting fight. Now, in my opinion, if I'm going to make a pick here, I'm going to have to go along with Gilbert Burns. In my opinion, Gilbert Burns, I mean, I don't, when I say he's a better fighter, I don't want to make it sound like Belal Muhammad is not a good fighter. He's an extremely good fighter, and he tends to prove everyone wrong time and time again. The way that I kind of see this fight, Belal Muhammad, while he has pretty good stand up. He's pretty good stand up. If he's going to knock somebody out, if he's going to stop somebody standing up, it's usually after he's exhausted his opponent from the wrestling and from the takedowns. I don't think that he's going to want to mix it up on the ground, whether grappling up against the cage or on the ground with Gilbert Burns. I just don't see that. I mean, he might be bold enough to try it, but I don't see that being his primary tactic in this fight. So I have a feeling he's going to try to stand with Burns. However, I don't see Burns necessarily trying to grapple or get it to the ground a whole lot either with Belal. Why even take that chance of him, getting a reversal, in a scramble or something along those lines. But, I mean, definitely I could see Gilbert Burns trying to use the grappling, trying to wrestle Belal a little bit, because he's going to be thinking, maybe I can get Belal a little bit tired, which would kind of negate his stand-up. If Belal's primary weapon is wrestling and grappling, but he's pretty good at striking. He's decent, at least. If you get him tired, that decent goes down to poor. You know what I mean? So, I don't think Gilbert is going to be worried about the stand up or wrestling with Belal. So, with that being said, in my opinion, I just feel like if they're going to stand, Gilbert's going to get the better of Belal Muhammad. If he chooses to wrestle with him, I believe Belal can hold his own. However, at what cost? Because he might end up kind of ruining his gas tank, so to speak, and then his stand-up is really going to be trash once that gas tank goes out the window. So, in my opinion, I think Gilbert Burns is going to take this one. I feel like he seems to be extremely confident. Now Gilbert he does also make a few missteps as far as his call outs, but I feel like Gilbert is in a better headspace right now. I feel like Belal seems to be a little bit bothered by the fact that people aren't saying that he's the number one guy, that he should be fighting for the title. That seems to kind of bother him, kind of worry him. And of course, he's got his back and forth he's had with Colby Covington and everything. I'm not saying that he's not focused. I know that he's focused, and that might give him the extra fire that he needs, that no one is saying he's the number one guy to go out there and beat Gilbert. But in my opinion, I feel like Gilbert Burns is going to take this one. I could definitely see it going to a decision and Gilbert getting the nod. So I don't know if Gilbert's actually going to stop Belal. I could definitely see this one going to the scorecards. I don't think there's necessarily going to be a stoppage, but if there is one, I would put my money on Gilbert Burns. So it's going to be a very interesting fight to see. It goes down this Saturday, UFC 288. We all going to be in the house, not literally, but I'm going to be in my house, chilling on my couch, watching the fights. I don't know where you gonna be, but wherever you gonna be, that's where I'm gonna be, and we're gonna see what it is. You know what I'm saying? Nevertheless, just wanted to kind of drop in, go over a couple of things with you guys and let you know what was going on. Couple of things, wanted to get off into that Belal fight, that Gilbert Burns fight. Again, my pick, Burns for the win. We'll see how it goes down. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Matter of Fact MMA. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.